It's Operation Babble with Myke Shrews. It's pop culture, music, movies, TV too. It's time to explore life. It's Operation Babble time.
Michael, I'm coming in hot, man.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, my soul.
John's gonna
But-
shat his pants. Or You're going to
What?
shirt your shit.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
the word?
How
for
did
that?
you do? You were going to the future, and then somehow
Went
you
to the
made it
past.
as if I'd already done it. So
Well-
I'd already preemptively done. I don't know. It must be looper time rules. Hey, before we get too far, Michael,
Well, we've already gone too far.
Let's test your hosting abilities here, and let's have you introduce this week's guest.
My hosting abilities. Well, this week, guys, we have another guest. We just love guests, apparently.
We're
this
bringing them
last
on,
couple
man. Everybody's
times.
locked in their houses. They got some time.
People don't have any excuse to say no. Well, they
Right.
do. They just like, we don't want to be on your fucking show.
Fine.
Or you get guests that, I've never listened to your show, but sure, I'll show up. Anyways, this week we have back with us Tivis, who was with us on our Crisis experience, correct?
Yep.
The comic aficionado with the love for DC, which
Yeah.
apparently might be in a little bit of turmoil as of right now due to some off-screen hijinks.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
So
Dear-
I imagine we're going to, no pun intended, dive into that at some point today.
We could flash right past it, so.
Damn. Come on, can we not? I started the horrible thing and I'm already mad at myself. So Tivis, nice to have you back, man. Very,
Glad to
very
be back.
good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How-
We're back. I don't know what to talk about. So
Well,
guys, feel free.
Since we got you, Tivis, and we haven't talked since Crisis, how are you feeling on CW's stuff right now, post-Crisis, I guess?
I've really been enjoying it, actually. The little, what's the word I'm looking for? The after effects of the event, basically.
Mhm.
Like, I'm really liking how each individual show is dealing with their own, problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they haven't had any crossovers per episode yet that I've noticed.
Not yet. But who knows? It might be coming. I don't even know when the finales are coming since the shows are on hiatus now.
Are
Yeah.
they? I thought they had shot everything already anyways.
No, they had to
No.
stop production. And
No.
with Supergirl being, pregnant right now, who knows when they can resume.
Yeah, and Batwoman was having a lot of onset issues and stuff, so they weren't cranking them out that fast before this all hit. So,
I mean,
yeah,
they were having onset issues before all this anyway.
Well, I would argue more writing room issues, but yes, yeah, fair enough.
And I know the woman who plays the Killer Frost, she's also pregnant. I don't know
Really?
how far
Yep.
along that is.
Danielle Pennebaker, yeah.
Yeah. So it's all up in the air when these
I think
shows
she
are
had
actually...
her. I think she had her kid already. Actually,
Did she? I must have missed
I
that.
think so. If I follow the gram, if you will.
Oh, see, I'm not on the gram. I can barely work Twitter.
Just pushing that garbage dumpster fire or navigating that is already bad enough.
Instagram is so much better than Twitter because there's not so much hate on there necessarily, I guess. Well, I don't pay attention
Instagram's
to
just posting photos and then making
Yeah.
a caption. You could just walk away from that. Twitter, it's like well, I mean, the whole point is you're putting out an opinion or you're putting out something you want.
A lot of people get way too political on Twitter.
Well, people get political everywhere. The thing is that I think
on Twitter more.
I think the main issue with a lot of people who go to Twitter and then get really butthurt really fast is that they think it's like Facebook. And
Yeah.
it's no, that's not kind of how it works. It's if you put something out into the ether, that's public.
Yeah.
And even people who don't follow you, if they just come across it, they can share it all over the place. So if you don't, you can't make that little echo chamber that you're used to quickly without getting chewed up a little bit.
Yeah. I did have to get used to, like, if I commented on someone else's thing, like, everybody could see that. Not just the people that were also commenting on there. Like, on Facebook, you don't see it unless you're in the comments. But they post that shit to your Twitter, too, as, like, you tweeted this, too. I was like, I say, hey, dude, in a comment, and it's, like, a tweet from me. I was like, what the fuck? This is so stupid.
Yeah, fucking hey, dude. I hate that stupid show from back in the day. Do you remember that show?
No.
You don't remember that? It was like they were on like a cowboy ranch or something. Like it kind of reminded me of like
a sitcom type thing.
Yeah, it was like a good old boy like ranch hand version of Salute Your Shorts.
Okay,
it's kind of like that. I think it was Nickelodeon. I don't remember. I'm old. It's fine.
Oh yeah, it was Nickelodeon 89 to 91.
Yeah, boy. Look at me. Look at the big old brain on Hambo.
I didn't have cable growing up, so I didn't get that shit.
All right, fair enough.
Poor me.
You know.
I was one.
What? Okay, well, thanks for making me feel old, you prick. To confirm, yes, Danielle Panabaker has given birth to her first child. Congratulations to Killer Frost herself. That's awesome. So, I don't think that'll be an issue. But so I guess, well, since you brought up CW, I mean, you might as well both of you guys feel free to chat like little schoolgirls, because I actually I pretty much haven't jumped on since Crisis, because I did 2 episodes of Flash, and they just got a little Iris centric again, and I really don't like Iris, so
I think they've sidelined her, actually, from last stuff I've seen anyways.
Well, from all the promos and stuff I'm seeing lately, it just seems like I thought they sidelined her, like they put her in like the mirror dimension type thing, which you'd think they'd figure that out because they've already fought Mirror Master, who was supposed to be like the best version of that. But anyway,
they did bring that up in one of the episodes.
Oh, okay, good. At least it's talked about.
I haven't watched the last 2 weeks, I think.
Oh, but I'm just seeing that somebody's like parading around as her or something, and it's just because of that. I just feel like I just don't like Iris when the whole Savitar thing was going down, and it's just every time they go really, really focus on her, it makes my soul hurt.
Right.
Sorry.
I love the actress. I think she's awesome. I think she does a really good job. But my biggest thing is maybe this, I don't know if it's sexist, but it could be. I don't know. I always enjoyed the Joe West Barry dynamic that just doesn't feel like it exists anymore. And it's kind of butthurt me a little bit, and it feels like Cisco doesn't really want to be there anymore just because of,
it does feel like he has one leg out the door.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I thought he was leaving like 2 seasons ago. I
thought so too, but I'm assuming something probably didn't pan out, especially with all the stuff happening. Maybe it was smart to maybe stick around and see if a paycheck was going to sit there. My other issue is you guys could probably tell Crisis still never sat well with me, and the more I've thought about it, it feels because then I finished up Arrow, and when I finished up Arrow, I just felt so hollow afterwards. I just kind of like I'm waiting for Legends to finish out the season, and then I'm just gonna binge that, and then if I get to the other stuff, I'll get to it.
Legends kind of got me sad with it though, because of the exit of Adam.
Yeah, Brandon Ruth.
Yeah, that's a whole mess itself.
So what do you think, Tiv?
Yeah.
T-Dog.
I mean, in regards to the Arrow finale, it was interesting to see what happened after he was gone, but I kind of don't know how I like that they ended on a cliffhanger that's supposed to lead into a show that we may or may not be picked up.
If it just felt cheap, and like the documentary styles felt really like it took all the emotion out. Like there was no, and it just felt like Diggle didn't get a goodbye, like ever, like literally never got one, and it just felt so like we don't really care about our main character. And even like some of the stuff that happened in it, I was like, why didn't that go into the crossover, like the unveiling of the statue and shit like that? Like that should have been in the crossover. So I don't know. It felt rushed and weak and lame. Again, the problem is you're just trying to prop up the next show, and you don't.
Which is where they fucked up when they did the whole Arrow and Canaries episode.
Yeah,
It was
that's what I'm
like
saying.
this has nothing to do with anything
and
we
you,
just
and you put
watched.
it right in the middle, and you put it right in the middle of everything.
It's so
and-
weird.
I think a better thing they could have done is maybe postpone Legends coming back just a bit. I love that show. I'm not
Mhm.
saying, but kind of maybe mix that in with those final few episodes of Arrow and kind of like a mixed show, and then lead straight on to Legends.
Yeah.
Yeah, my main thing is that I think the Arrow and Canaries, they should have just wrote it so that just happened after everything. That should have been the next episode, like a bonus episode or.
Well, I mean, it did happen after everything. It's just in the timeline, but
Yeah, but I'm saying the way you
chronologically
release
playing it, yeah, it's
the way
like-
you release it. I mean, releasing stuff is a big deal. It's a lot of reason why I think a lot of people assume that Firefly was such a big disappointment was because Fox aired the episodes out of sequence. And when you do something like that has a very strong timeline and a nice flow to it, I mean, that could be very detrimental. I mean, imagine if you did a bunch of Buffy episodes completely out of sequence.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do that.
it'd be difficult.
It's
it would be very difficult.
It's
And,
interesting to
you know,
see
with the
what they do
Flash
with it.
stuff. I'm pretty okay with what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, it does seem like Barry's taking a back seat for now, and when they're going to introduce the second villain, who knows? I mean, we're over halfway through the second half now, I think.
Well, this is like isn't this already the second villain for this season? Because before the crossover, they had a whole other villain.
Yeah, they're supposed to have Bloodwork was the first half, and then
Yeah.
the second half was going to be a new villain. They wanted to kind of
And they just
this
have
season was going to be different and
Right.
split it up like a comic trade kind of thing.
thing.
So are we gonna
It's
start
interesting.
getting two big villains every season now from Flash?
Maybe, who knows? They just said they wanted to try out the format this year.
I kinda like
it was
the
in one of the
whole-
extras I got.
I like the format of there being one main guy and then like Monster of the Week type thing every episode.
I miss that. I really
Yeah.
miss that old aesthetic. It just worked really well for the show. I don't know. I mean, Supernatural did it for fucking like 17 years. Like, why mess with a formula that you know works for, especially like something like a comic book character?
Yeah.
It's like you can have your little homages to stupid little one-off villains, like a fun trickster thing, or do this or this, and then, oh yeah, here's Zoom in the background that you have to worry about every day.
Right.
I liked that format. It was fun. And it felt like it gave writers a chance to breathe and like really flesh out their arc versus like feeling like, oh God, how do we have 9 characters. How do we give everybody something to do? You know?
That's
So
what
it's-
happened with Arrow too. They got like 5 billion superheroes on one show right there.
What were you
Yeah.
saying, Tip?
So what you're saying is Flash is gonna inevitably cross over with Scooby Doo.
Oh yeah.
I watched that episode. I'm not gonna lie. Watching Jensen, dude, I like that episode. I know you're talking about Supernatural, and it's if you haven't.
That's
You
the
haven't-
only episode I've seen of that show, honestly.
Are you for real? Oh my god. I would recommend the first 3 seasons for sure. Like 100% for sure. The first 3 seasons are awesome. I definitely think you'd like it. It has a very like, it's like dark Scooby Doo meets like Constantine stuff. Like
Isn't that like
it's neat.
20 seasons though, right?
It's like 16, I think.
16. Okay.
15 or 16, yeah. And it's the final one. Like,
Yeah.
if they can get to the last part, like they can finish shooting, yeah, they'll be done this year.
I know people were trying to get Amel to like do as many seasons as Supernatural for Arrow. I was like, there's no way they have enough story
Oh, no.
at all for that.
No way. I mean, you could find story. It was just, they were just, like I said, I mean, once the League of Assassins came in, it's like, really, where do you go from there? Like,
Yeah.
that was, because essentially they were just making Batman. That's what they were doing.
Yeah.
And when you do something like the League of Assassins, it's like there's really not much there's not a lot more to like go.
Right.
And I think they squandered that so poorly. Like Damien Dark could have been really interesting, but that turned into more of a comedy thing. Like he was more comedic than like actually menacing and scary.
Did you guys happen to read the original planned finale to Arrow before all the spin-offs came along?
Oh God, no.
No.
What was it?
Well, they wanted Oliver to die. That was always the plan, but
Okay.
they were going to have it in a way, the news reports and stuff, and it was going to inspire many other heroes to rise up, and one of those was going to be a little guy in Gotham in an armored clad suit.
Sure. That'd have been cool. I'd have been fine with
Yeah.
it. I would have liked it probably better than what I got. I feel like his legacy got tainted a little bit. A little meh. He kind of went out with a whimper.
I do still like the line in the crossover when he finds out Bruce Wayne was Batman. He's like, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, and wait for the Monitor to fucking dox Batman
Right?
right off the bat. It's like, wow, you just gonna let everybody know, huh?
I mean,
Fucked
it's
up.
not like not every single person knows who the fuck Batwoman is almost on their show, so why
Yeah.
not?
Well, that doesn't make it better. It just makes her even more dumb.
My Batman only let the women he banged know who he was.
Fair enough, man.
I'll be honest. I still haven't seen the newest Supergirl or Batwoman. I know that the other shows are coming back relatively soon, but it's
Yeah.
after knowing that it's gonna not have an ending anytime soon, it kind of took away from my
Right.
excitement.
If I can tell you anything, Batwoman gets much, much dumber. The dumb just keeps
They've,
on going.
They've done a lot of
there
weird
was-
shit in this season already for
Yeah,
Batwoman.
there was one a few weeks back. I was kind of curious to hear you guys.
What's that?
The
The
train one or the vampire one? Which one?
the vampire.
Yeah,
gosh,
it was fun.
yeah.
I'm not fucking kidding you, dude. When people were talking about it, I legitimately thought they were gonna bring in actual real vampires.
Because they exist.
Yeah.
But I was gonna make the argument. I'm like, because this show would just do it. Even if they didn't exist, they'd been like, fuck it. Like,
Why
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. And like, cause they tried to do the whole thing with Beth, like having another version of her from Crisis, which I'm like, cool, that could be interesting. And they completely mishandled that. So
They've mishandled the
I laughed my way to the
entire
bank on that one.
the entire thing of Crisis has been mishandled, period. Let's just go back and remember that dumb shit supposedly brought people's memories back from a brain that was never in existence before. Come on.
Not only that, if you even did it, you'd think these people would have to have like a minute. Like, it's like, whoa, what just...
Yeah.
Okay,
A whole world change.
could somebody
and-
like throw up or something? Could be like, because your life has just been completely
I
shattered.
think
Oh.
Diggle did throw up. 'Cause he
Yeah.
throws up at everything.
Well, he throws up at everything.
So did what's his name from Supergirl? The guy who went to the future. I forget. Toy Man.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember his real name, but his dad was the Toyman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he picked up I think he's picking up the mantle of Toyman now.
Yeah, he did at the end of that one.
Yeah.
That whole to be able to remember the previous universe thing is
Mhm.
really messing up a subplot in Legends,
Yeah.
like big time.
I'm just gonna watch Legends. It's fun, and like the corny hokiness, I'm like, cool. I don't want to think about it. I'm done. Arrow's gone. I feel bad. Flash is okay, unless they do a lot more Barry centered stuff. I don't really care anymore because Grant Gustin's one of the best actors on that show.
Mm.
So, like,
Ooh, yeah, and with the trouble Ezra Miller's in right now.
Bum, bum,
yeah,
bum.
I was hoping we'd get there because
We flashed right to it.
obviously the Flash movie has been in limbo for years now. We're talking probably
And that's
2-3
worse than New
years.
Mutants too, because that one hasn't even been shot yet.
I was gonna say, yeah, the Flash hasn't even been started. So obviously Ezra Miller was going to do it,
Yeah.
a solo movie, and of course the internet was like,
I mean,
well, what the fuck?
he's
Why bother?
still-
Just have Grant coming into it, like
Yeah.
make a Flashpoint movie and let's just do it. Which we all know, as much as like logistically that makes sense on paper. There are things about TV and movies that are shot a little bit differently,
Yeah.
and sometimes don't translate. I kind of think in this day and age, I think we need to get past that stigma because actors from movies go to TV shows and they do just fine.
I mean, look at Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that had them crossing over all the time
Exactly.
from the movies. So
Just because the show is shot a little bit cheaper and a little bit more rushed, if anything, that should get a good TV actor the chance to really hone their craft, because the film takes a little bit longer to go.
show you to a more wide audience than people, because Grant Gustin, he could be a great Flash in the movies, but not everyone's gonna watch the Flash on the CW.
Exactly. So like maybe you have a really good film and we can watch it and maybe bring people to come watch the first couple of seasons, and then they'll laugh at us when they get to Crisis. But at the end of the day, so for I guess I don't know. I want to hear Tivis talk a little bit. So do you want to bring up what happened? I'm sure anybody who's into pop culture, follows this stuff, has heard already, but maybe you want to reiterate what the issue is and maybe how you feel about it.
I don't know all the details completely,
There's
but
not
I mean,
many details.
just from that video that came out of him, it looked like he was getting rough with a fan.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just uncalled for.
So I believe the video was, I think they were at a bar or something.
Yeah, they're outside of a bar, or
yeah, and a female fan comes up to him, and he's just he's just hanging out, and you can tell he's a little bit agitated. And the person filming, lady starts saying something. He's like, "Oh, you want to know? You want to know?" And then all of a sudden, he puts his hand around her neck, and then.
He says you want to
down.
fight. He says you want to fight. You want to
That could
fight.
be it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was a little bit hard to tell. So
Honestly,
he does that, and he takes her down to the ground. And he doesn't like choke slam her or anything, but like the hand goes around the neck, and all of a sudden he's taking her forcibly down to the ground.
Yeah, and this all came out on April 1st, so people weren't sure if it was an April Fool's or what, and then it came out that this actually happened.
Right.
Yep. And I'm gonna say it now. I'll probably catch heat. He's always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. He's always felt like he had something a little off about him ever since he was in.
Bet he rubs you the wrong way.
Yeah, you're gross. I think he was in, if I remember correctly, he was in Trainwreck with Amy Schumer, and he just seemed kind of off. And like,
was
then
he a train
you do
wreck?
interviews with them. You do interviews and stuff with them, and
Yeah.
he just seems a little erratic and like not
during Justice League, there was some horror stories that came out that he was extremely difficult to work with the crew.
I believe it, and especially like Gal Gadot is like very like feminist, and I heard rumors that like Ezra Miller's like making fun of that, like being like really like oh yeah, fuck the patriarchy.
Yeah, he did that in some
really...
interview while she was next to him, and it kind of turned into like one of those interviews where Brie Larson was talking shit and the other guys were there.
Thor and Don Cheadle, yeah, that
and
was
they're
funny.
Just like looking and just trying to play
I'm gonna be
it
the
cool.
next me. So I don't know, man. I watch Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
He's not a bad actor, but I mean, he's always made me feel a little uncomfortable, like in interviews and stuff. So
my thing is, you don't have to like him as a person. You can just like his characters. There's lots of actors who have played cool movies, but as a person, they are assholes.
Normally, I would 100% agree with that. I think with the idea of taking an iconic superhero, I think you need your actor to be likable in real life, because you're gonna have them going around being an icon for children.
Especially if he gets to do the first ever solo Flash movie.
Well,
if
Well, but I mean, imagine if Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. were complete cocksuckers, like just complete assholes.
I mean, Robert Downey Jr. was when he was younger, so he got it out of his system.
But I'm saying he's Iron Man now. Like you hired the man now.
Formerly
you didn't hire the
known
guy
as
who went
Iron
to prison.
Man.
You didn't hire the guy who was in prison. You hired the guy who came out of prison. And like look at the stuff they do. It's like, man, do you really want somebody like leading this thing that you're going to put on international posters, trying to be an icon, and then you're like, oh yeah, we can't send him out to any interviews because he's a fucking asshole. It's kind of what you're probably dealing with Brie Larson as fucking Captain Marvel right now. You know what I mean? It's kind of like people
It's-
don't register with her the same way people do with like Chris Hemsworth
Yeah.
or Scarlett Johansson or Robert Downey Jr.
It'll be interesting to see what goes on with the whole thing. Like, if people haven't seen the video, just Google Ezra Miller. Is literally all that's
Pretty much it'll be
showing
the
up right
first
now.
thing that comes back. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is Ezra Miller appears to choke women in video and shit like that, and it's
Not
like
in a good way.
It
Not
depends
in a
on
hot
how
way.
you
yeah.
look at it, though, because I mean, you can look at it. It could be a joke. It could be just a badly done joke, or he could just, took
It
him
doesn't
something a
matter
little too
unless
far.
unless you can come out and prove any of that right now.
Right.
It's just all bad press. It's
Right.
just bad. It was
Well,
just-
apparently he was kicked out of the bar.
oh yeah. He
for
was
that.
forcefully removed.
Yeah, there's just nothing good that'll come from it. Whether it's fake or not, there's gonna be something bad.
the DCEU
oh, a
is a
stigma's
champ-
gonna be to him.
I think this is the final nail in the coffin. I highly doubt Wonder Woman 84 is going to be even remotely good enough to justify continuing. There's already rumors that they're picking another Aquaman over Momoa, which would be
Really?
very strange. There is rumors. I think that would be really stupid. It's the only thing that you're like, maybe I could do a number 2 with.
Right.
Yeah.
But now we have another issue
It's
with
Shazam.
another actor in that franchise. So it's
Yeah.
just like, man, at this point, why even bother? Like,
Well,
I
that's
don't know.
why Marvel, they're going through and vetting their people now a lot more, especially for these bigger roles.
well, to be fair, Disney's always. I mean, fuck, man, just try and work at their theme parks for God's sake.
Yeah.
The background checks just to be a character in their
Oh, yeah.
theme parks is very, very extensive.
The
I
thing
got
though
a
with
good friend who moved down there to work at the park, and she
Yeah.
had a ton of process to get through.
yeah,
Dude, I'm not kidding. Some people who work for the government legitimately say it's easier to work for the government than it is to work for Disney. It's dead ass serious.
I mean, once you're on Disney contract, you just have to be perfect.
Be the drone, baby. You go to work and you read that script.
You shut up. You
do
don't
not-
even get to manage your own Twitter account or
No,
anything.
don't deviate. Don't you deviate.
I think that's why there was so much guff with James Gunn, because he's not one of those
Yeah.
types
Yeah.
of people.
And there was that whole thing behind that too. They think that was just like a work with use the wrestling term, but that they think that they knew this was going to blow her from the start, so it was all publicity, and he was signed on still.
Yeah.
They never actually fired him.
I would make 100% say no to that because he made a fucking film with DC. No way Disney's letting that fucking happen. No way.
Yeah.
And because they fired him, he's off contract. Therefore, he was able to sign for Suicide Squad 2, which I think is going to be awesome.
Oh,
by
Yeah.
the
I
way.
can't wait.
I think it'll be the best DC film made. I bet you. I'm willing to put money down.
Right now, my bar is Shazam, so
Yeah, and it's sad because I feel very good about that film. I like it a lot. Man,
Yeah.
I went back and rewatched it with Hannah. It took all of 10 minutes for Hannah to point out not only like a ton of continuity errors, but then it was just like, oh yeah, that doesn't make sense. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that doesn't make sense. But it's still a good film. I'm like, I will watch that over pretty much any. I still watch Aquaman a lot, mostly just to giggle, and it's usually with Hannah. And
It's a
I's
fun
commentary
2
on it.
hours. Aquaman's a fun 2 hours, so
It's long, dude. It's so long. 2 hours is a long time.
gotta get prepared for the trench.
Oof. God damn. But yeah, so sequel. What do we think, man? Now with all the stuff with Amber Heard coming out, who
Oh,
played
yeah.
Mira. What do we think? Where's that gonna?
DC's just in our
land?
conversation all day today, huh?
It's everywhere, man.
Have you Amber heard the news?
Amber, can you herd me?
I don't know. The whole, even when that stuff was coming out, I try so hard in these because it's so easy to fall into that trap of, yeah, okay, this might have happened, but I try so hard to stay neutral and like
Yeah.
what doesn't make sense. And there was a lot of stuff that did not make sense during that whole mess.
The
I just-
original allegation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You watch interviews with Amber Heard, and then you go watch interviews with Johnny Depp. I'm like, Johnny Depp just usually looks like he's just stoned and chill as fuck.
Yeah.
She looks like she's like tweaking, and I'm like, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. I always feel like she was always there. She
It's-
seemed very erratic to me.
It's funny because
And
it's
mean.
like
She just seemed kind of mean.
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, she didn't really start doing a whole lot of like big time work until after those like allegations first sprouted and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess what you would call big time, but I mean, she was working, man. She was doing a lot of film. I mean, granted, a lot of times she was naked in them, but
yeah.
still,
Yeah.
it's still work.
I not to go too far down because this is murky water.
Oh yeah,
But I honestly, I'm personally siding with Johnny. I think he's a menace to himself. But just looking at all the stuff that presented itself, I mean, one of them has a restraining order from a previous, significant other, and the other one
Yeah.
had all of theirs come defend them. So
Right.
yeah. So I mean, with everything that's coming out now, it's kind of hard not to side with Johnny Depp, and I think, and it's pretty. I mean, I hate to like take it from their own little personal bubble to this huge microcosm, like pseudo thing that we're all dealing with now with like the Me Too movements and like the Believe Women movement and stuff. It's like, that could be really detrimental on paper. It's like I can never stress enough that context matters. It's why every court case needs to be handled on an individual basis. You can't turn the judicial system into an Amazon warehouse where it's all conveyor belts and
You can't also
aren't
turn
allowed.
it into a big movement of just, this is this, and that's,
But I mean, I can understand doing that to
As a-
raise attention.
yes, but you shouldn't take it to every case like that.
But exactly, turning the judicial system into an assembly line defeats the purpose, and and I think that's what a lot of these movements sometimes are calling for, maybe even by accident. Because of course, I absolutely believe that women didn't come forward back in the day because men.
no doubt.
We're in
Yeah.
positions of power, but then you start seeing with the internet now a lot of female teachers sleeping with younger students because then I don't think that weird, because obviously it by the public. I know it sounds terrible, but it is looked at differently for some reason. Guys our age back in the day, if we had a hot teacher, we'd be getting high fives. The other way around, it'd be like,
Right.
ugh, you're gross, slut.
Yeah.
And it's a weird gender thing, and it's a societal norm shit that I think we're slowly getting away from. But
Just wait till all the Me Too guys come out about Oprah.
man, that was weird. When I heard that, that's one I'm definitely gonna hold out and hear more about before I say anything on.
This
That
is new to
was-
me.
Yeah, there are rumors, and I hate to even say it, but there have been rumors linking Oprah Winfrey to the group of Epstein friendlies, and
Oh wow.
she
Yeah.
could potentially be cited for at least talk to about human trafficking, which I don't want to believe. I need to hold out hope on that one.
Yeah.
So I'm
Well, she
not
did
going to
a-
speak on it until I see more
I
about
will
it.
say she is doing or did do a Me Too documentary, I think at the end of last year.
Yeah.
Or something. And 50 Cent came out and criticized her shit for it because of like the stuff that had been made public already before like Epstein and all that.
I just don't want it to be true, because then we're just gonna have an endless year of you get a child and you get a child and you get a child. Everybody gets a child. Can we cut that? That was bad. Oh no. Well, I'm gonna get canceled, guys. So everyone, welcome to my final podcast ever. So I don't know.
That's
but
John
I mean,
at Bald Man Bad on Twitter.
Oh yeah, great. So Tivis, I mean, I guess, obviously with Amber Heard, people are calling for her to obviously be removed from the character of Mira. Not only that, there are rumors that she falsified evidence, so she may be looking at prison time right now. So
I just saw that today.
yeah, so she might not be getting kicked out. She might just not be available. So if that happens, two questions. Here's a two-parter for you. One, do you think we should even bother with an Aquaman sequel? And two, do you think Mira needs to be involved / if that character needs to be involved, who do you see potentially taking the role over?
Oof. Oh.
Big shoes to fill, man.
I would say
Well-
this at least get, a real ginger to play the role.
That's what I was thinking. Who's that one? The woman who plays Laura Croft.
Alicia Vanderkamp?
The voice actor. She looks just like the character.
Oh, does she?
Oof.
Yeah, people wanted her to play her in the rebooted movie.
Which I would have been kind of cool with, but man, I don't know. Like, because it was the same argument that people had with Nolan North being Nathan Drake in Uncharted. When, I'm sorry, fucking Nathan Fillion should have done it. But Nolan North would have been fine. But man, Nolan North has only done a few things, like a few like major roles in front of the camera. I don't know how much voice acting translates to like being a leading character. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I don't know. But no, I completely agree. I would have liked to have at least seen a couple of screen tests of the voice actress trying to be Lara Croft. That would have been pretty clever anyway. Or at least would have helped us move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we're going with redheads, I mean, the only one that comes to mind is Amy Pond.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nebula from Guardians.
Yeah.
Karen Gillan. That's
Karen Gillan.
the name was
yeah.
escaping me.
Yeah, I could see that. Ooh, that. But she ain't going to no DC for for whatever paycheck they're gonna give her when Marvel's just gonna be like, here, just don't do anything and we'll give you a couple million.
Yeah.
They got her. That's the thing is Marvel gets them locked in, man. Like, I don't know many actors that are switching back and forth. Like you hear the directors do, but the actors themselves, I'm not hearing that a whole lot. So we'll see. John, your thoughts
On what specifically?
on the actress to replace her if they do replace her?
Ooh. Well, one, I would go with. I guess I'll answer my two-parter question.
Yeah,
for
answer your
myself, I guess.
two-parter.
For
Do
the
we
first
need
part,
her?
I don't know. I don't see why not do a Aquaman sequel. I mean, it did make a lot of money. I like Jason Momoa as the character. I just thought the movie was kind of shit, but I think you can. I think it could be done well. And the problem is I think if maybe we got a little bit, if we toned it down a bit more, because you have a world that you've already built now. But man, after what they did, I don't know where you go from that. Like you had like the whole ocean, and you did everything. So I
Yeah.
don't know what is left to go. But I mean, I'd watch it again. I like Jason Momoa, so I'd give it a shot. If I had to replace Mira, I would do one of two things. I think I would either go Michael's route, and I'd say get a real ginger and bring in Karen Gillan,
Yeah, that's what Tivis said.
who I would prefer her to be Batgirl, because people have been online pushing for that. I would prefer her to do that and just take her own film and go do that.
Yeah.
I think she'd be fine.
But do you really think
on-
that Disney would let her go?
She can still go do other stuff. I mean, she did her own independent film. She did Jumanji,
Yeah.
which I'm not entirely sure. I don't believe Disney owns that, so
Don't
she can
believe
go off
so.
and do. She can go off and do her own projects. The only thing is yeah, obviously going and working for a competitor might be a whole thing, but it has happened. So I don't know.
Maybe Marvel would just be like, yeah, they're not really competitions. Go.
I mean, you could really make that argument. I mean, honestly, I know it sounds hokey. I absolutely would go with Emilia Clarke. Do some cool camera angles. A lot of their stuff was CGI anyway, so you could do some perspective stuff to make her look a little bit taller. She would look fine in a wig. I mean, you put Amber Heard in the fucking wig, so why not just do it with her? And they have way better chemistry. We already know that they completely like each other, and it would just be nice to see them put back. And I guarantee you're getting all your Game of Thrones fans there because you just want to see them both back together.
And
it's a good marketing tool.
in terms of what they could do for a sequel, I wouldn't mind seeing like the introduction of Aqualad,
Mhm.
because I thought what they did on Titans was pretty cool, but also for a story, I wouldn't mind seeing the Hit and Bottom storyline where he loses his arm and replaces it with a hook. They kind of
Yeah,
touched on that in
yeah.
the old Justice League cartoon, but
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool.
It would be cool. I think my issue would be, who's our villain? I mean, Black Manta? I mean, after you had to face your... I mean, I guess you could do some interesting stuff maybe with, like, the half-brother in jail.
See, this is how I think it would be if they do a sequel and they use Black Manta. I think they'll open the movie with him again and then just have him sideline the rest of the movie again.
You mean just like the first one?
Yeah. Just do it. Just because people are going to look forward to him being the villain because of the end credits and shit like that.
I don't know why you would ever be excited for him. He's a dope. Like, he's a total dope.
I loved the Black Manta, and that is pure golden age. Like, you killed my dad because he was doing something stupid. I will get revenge.
We shot a rocket at you. Can you please save my dad?
Still one of my favorite. I when he shoots the grenade in the torpedo room, I'm in there. It's like, you know what torpedoes are? They're like highly volatile explosive devices. And then he shoots the thing, and you just hear me scream, "Why would you do that in this room?" And it's just like, these guys are supposed to be military experts and stuff, and they're just coming in like blowing shit up. But I don't know. I just wish they would have kept it to Black Manta in the first film, because the second film would have been much better, because then there would have been a really good reason for Aquaman to come down and take the throne, because he saved, them from this stupid, Earth dweller.
They could have broke the
Land
first
Dweller
movie
thing.
into 3 parts and just called it Lord of the Aquaman. There you go.
Why do you want to do this? I was gonna give you a break off the Lord of the Rings thing for 1 week, and you just always gotta twist that knife just a smidge. So I don't know. Give me the sequel just for fun.
Yeah.
I think Amelia Clarke would probably be my first call, or a no name. I think for Mira, and then just maybe focus more on him and his mom, and then maybe him trying to find a successor, because maybe he doesn't want to stay.
Who played his mom in the movie? I forget.
Nicole Kidman.
Okay, so Michelle Pfeiffer was in the Ant-Man one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She was.
I think I keep
white.
switching them around because it's
She
the
was the
same
original
story
Wasp.
arc, basically.
Well, because all white people look the same. I get it. It's fine. You're racist.
All white old women look the same.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's where that is. But I guess I did bring up Wonder Woman. What are your thoughts on Wonder Woman 84, my dude?
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm
Super pumped.
can't wait.
I don't think I've seen any trailers but the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
I
I mean, it's not coming out for like a year now or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess maybe I'll throw my 3 criticisms at you, and I figure since you know some decent lore, and I'm sure you've seen the internet being very divided on the trailers and stuff, as the internet is, and always will be. Kind of one, the big reveal, which I think was wasted in the trailer, as always. That's what you do. The Golden Eagle armor.
Yes.
For Wonder Woman. What do you think about that? Because it is dramatically different from in the comic book.
I thought it looked amazing, honestly. Curious how it's going to be introduced in the film, but
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if she just has it in like a crate, because she always like collects shit, and it's just like in a crate somewhere at her job, and she's like, "Oh no, my skirt fell off. I'm gonna go get something else."
You mean she's not gonna pull a Thor and just like let lightning build it onto her?
And braid his beard.
And it's her vagina hairs.
I would
Really? God damn it.
I would like if they incorporated more of the mythological side of her stuff in this one, because I know the previous one had Ares, but let's get Zeus and some of the others.
I think you're gonna get it, because man, that lassoing lightning and swinging like a monkey from fucking Crystal Skull.
Can I say though, fuck everybody who's like, she's swinging on lightning. Who cares? It's a comic book movie.
I do, because it looks
doesn't have to
fucking
be
retarded.
grounded in
It
reality.
looks retarded. and you establish certain ground rules to things. You pretty much made it look like she could fly like fucking Superman. Why bother lassoing lightning?
Yeah, she does those weird
That's another
jumps.
thing I was gonna say. She actually can fly in the comics, so
Yeah, they changed that like a few years ago because we all understood that the invisible jet was retarded.
So maybe she's not swinging on the lightning. Maybe she's creating the lightning.
Then that's just giving her another power. Shut up. Stop.
Who cares?
What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? First, you're like criticizing people. It's like it's a comic. Now I'm just gonna say all the kinds of dumb shit that she can do. Why not? Fuck it. Maybe she can time travel.
I want to see the damn invisible jet, even though I wouldn't see it. 'Cause it's invisible.
I would love for it to be referenced.
Well, they
what
could
if
do like a Quinjet thing.
what if they're taking it to Disney and they're introducing their version of Thor? Because they do have one.
Do they?
Oh yeah. It's just Thor.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. He's like in the brown costume, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got the
Yeah.
dark hair because
Well-
Disney has the copyright on the blonde one.
Do you think DC will ever do Hercules?
Oh,
Because they did
I hope
Hercules in the comics
Wonder
a
Woman
lot.
would be the place to do it.
Right.
wait, which version do you, the Marvel or DC one?
The DC version.
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, I could see them trying to beat Marvel to it, even though
Right.
Marvel's is way more popular.
Yeah.
I don't know about the design of Cheetah though. This is
Did they
Yeah.
actually
it's
release
a little
what
off.
she looks
You
like?
can still fix it, but man.
Did they release what she looks like?
Yeah, they
Did
did
they?
it by accident.
Oh, okay.
Like they leaked it, or somebody leaked it, and people were like, "Oh, it looks like ass," and they're like,
Right.
"Oh, don't worry, it's not the final concept." And then the Lego game came out, like all the character designs and stuff, and it showed the whole thing. So it was kind of like, "Oh shit, no, okay, well we double lied. It's fine. We'll fix it." So we'll see. Maybe she'll get the Sonic treatment, and they'll just like fix it in post.
I mean, they have the time.
I don't know. I like Kristen Wiig, man. I'm very curious. I want it to be good. I like Cheetah's kind of a stupid character, but I like the Wonder Woman Cheetah dynamic. Like, I like it. I'm a huge fan of like the Injustice video games, and I'm a huge fan of the cartoons.
Yeah.
So it's like I buy into the dumb, and the problem is they don't give me the dumb. Like they're too scared to give me the dumb.
I think that's the
And
best thing about DC is like how much crazy dumb stuff they can do.
But the thing is like they keep it like relevant to their characters and the storyline, and they go for it. But then the problem with the movies is they have this want and need to make it grounded and real and like
you could thank Christopher Nolan for that.
And then they're like, also we're retarded. Like also she can lasso lightning. It's like, what? I don't know. Like where are the power dynamics? How does this work? And it's like, you know, you go from something like Man of Steel, which is like overtly brooding and really muted colors and really kind of lame and just boring. But, you know, Henry Cavill looks cool in the suit. I can understand why people would like a melancholy version. And then all of a sudden you get things like Suicide Squad and Aquaman, and you're like, somebody just melted a box of crayons, threw some glitter on it, and was like, I'm eating the glue.
They don't know how to keep everything like as crazy. I mean, like Batman, you can do like a grounded movie with Batman, but still have his villains be the eccentric villains that they are, which make it even crazier. Like that's the point.
I think that was always the point. Was like Batman was just a dude in a suit with money. So you're like, that seems plausible, and then things just got weirder and weirder, and he got put in situations that like required him to find other people or find assistance somewhere else. Like I can't get it. Tivis, have you watched any of the Harley Quinn cartoon, the new one?
I have not. I just got to Titan season 2, so I'm a bit behind on their stuff.
Oh, you poor man. Good luck. The costumes look awesome. The storyline's retarded.
Hey, I'm just excited for Crypto.
Sure, give it. Deathstroke looks awesome.
He does.
Nightwing's costume looks great. Hopefully they handle Beast Boy better. Anyway, I I've been watching the Harley Quinn cartoon, and I just watched the first episode of the second season, and I still like it. I was curious where they were going to go after the season finale, which I'll try not to spoil for you.
Oh, no, go ahead. I'm fine.
Okay, well, because it's really, really good. I would recommend watching it. It's a 22-minute episode cartoon. I think it's only like 10 episodes, so it's a quick watch.
Short season.
And it's a lot of fun. First episode is pretty shit. It's very like SJW, like they didn't really know what they were doing. And then the second episode, there's an episode where Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy go to Penguin's son's bar mitzvah. and they introduce Kite Man. And that moment, the minute Kite Man is introduced to this show, I'll fucking watch the shit out of this. It's great. It's really fun.
Do they have any of the other really weird C-list villains like Quilt Man or
Not yet? They
Condiment King?
They bring in a couple, but I did see Condiment King in the season 2 promos, so yeah, they're bringing them.
Awesome.
Rahul Kahili, I believe is his name, Ravi from iZombie. He voices Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Which is really weird. Having Scarecrow with a British accent kind of fucked me up a little bit. And then
it's just like Bane with a fucking British accent.
See, and I got mad. See that it's funny. It's funny you say that because then they did the joke in the show where Bane has the jokey voice. Like, he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna be your reckoning." Like, but they like make him like a jarbled fucking idiot. Like everybody shits on him. They're like, "Bane, shut the fuck up! Like you're an asshole." And he's like, "Oh man," and I don't know how I feel about it because again, I always liked the fact that he was Hispanic because he's a fucking luchador. Like that's the point.
That was the whole point behining like the mask and the breaking of Batman's back originally and shit.
Yeah, and you watch the show and you can obviously tell it's tongue in cheek, like kind of Deadpool-y.
DC is already they're to that point where they're just making fun of their own shit because everyone else
but
is.
They do it really well. Let me give you a little peek behind the curtain for the show with the character stuff that you'll see is that Kaylee Cuoco, Penny from Big Bang Theory, if you guys don't know, she does the voice for Harley, which of course, like when I first saw the trailer, I'm like, that could be fine. I don't really like it, but it could be fine. She's just using her voice. Fuck it, whatever. But she has this weird little subplot with her parents. They introduce her parents and like a backstory for her, why she's so like limber and can do gymnastic stuff and all that, and where she's from. And whenever she starts to be like around Joker or her parents and like she's put back in her like regressive bubble, like back in her character trait, she does the voice. Like she puts that like weird Brooklyn accent on. Yeah. But then when she leaves all of that and she's hanging out with her friends and being herself, she uses her normal voice. And I'm like, that was actually a really nice little touch, like a little bit of interesting shit that I was like, this show kind of gets it. It gets what it's doing. It just kind of drops the ball once or twice. Well, and my biggest issue is you'll understand why if you watch the show. My favorite character couple or like interactions are Kite Man and Poison Ivy. Like it's why I love the show, but like all the characters are really fun. At the end of the season, you don't see him anywhere and they don't explain why. And I was like, it's fine. Maybe they just fucked up. And I'm like, okay, with the first episode of the second season, if they address it, I'll be fine. He's not even in the fucking episode. And I'm rioting, going like #where's Kite Man? Like I was like, where's my dude? He just disappeared. And trust me, if you watch the episodes, like it makes no sense to why he's not even like mentioned for like 2 full episodes. And I'm like, oh, come on guys. Like, what are we doing? So you get a little worried that they get a little up their own ass about a couple of things. But it's a good show. I enjoy it. I recommend seeing it.
I'm really interested. I like the fact that she has issues with Damien because he thinks she's his arch rival.
Yeah, shit is funny, man. It's super funny. Like the way they put their crew together is really silly. And like Alan Tudyk plays a bunch of voices. He plays the Joker and Clayface.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah, isn't he great? He's just like that dude's gonna live off of DC money for the rest of his life.
He made Doom Patrol.
I agree. I absolutely agree. No, Alan Tudyk's great as Clayface, like because he can transform into people and shit. They gave him an extra little layer to his character. Like he's a thespian, like he's an old like thespian actor. So if he's going to be a henchman or look like a Sutton, I need to know my character, and I really need to become him. I can't just look like him. I must be him. And I love shit like that. It gives you another layer to a character, and I find that very interesting. It's good
sounds
writing.
like they took a lot of notes when they did Teen Titans Go, and then just like kind of like went and made it into more of an adult version of that.
Could have been. I could see it. Like they're really edgy because I mean, you look at Teen Titans Go, they do have a lot of tongue-in-cheek jokes.
Yeah.
It's just they hide them in the really like silly cartoony shit. I don't like their aesthetic. That's my biggest problem.
That drew me, or I kept me away from it for a long time, and then I started watching little bits in here and there, and that's a funny show.
They have their moments, and they're another one of those ones that does the whole like meta stuff, making fun of themselves and all that.
Oh yeah, that movie, I love that trailer with Batman.
Yeah,
God, that's fucked up when they push the parents into the alley. That's fucked. That's so
funny
fucked.
as hell.
I can never sign off on that show. I just can't.
Yeah.
I'm such a purist
It's like
about the other
Teen
one.
Titans Animaniacs, bro.
I know, but just give me the Animaniacs. I'll go watch them.
So you're not gonna watch the crossover movie they did?
No, I don't think so. It's just
Oh, the one with the original
because
Titans?
Tivis. Because honestly, if I end up liking it, I'd fucking hate myself. Like, to be completely honest, and I could see me being like hammered one day and going, "Fuck it, I'll watch it," and then it's like, "Oh man, that was actually funny," and then like my world would come crashing down around.
I still say they missed out. They could have used the Legends crossover episode to do like some weird crossover where they went into their cartoon universe.
I don't want them to do too many weird things with other shows because I like them being able to stay within the realms of themselves. Again, if they do too much stupid stuff, they're not going to get away with like the puppet show episode.
Yeah,
like I
that's
love
true.
the puppet.
They keep
episode.
fucking bringing the puppets back too.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And Constantine's just like, puppets again.
Oh, and fucking Victor Garber, fucking Victor Garber, who played Professor Stein. He was on an episode of fucking Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I need to start that show.
So the fucking show's amazing, dude. The season finale just came out yesterday. I just watched it this morning. I cried like a bitch. And then they had like an hour special after it. Like, like
Dang it.
Tivis, the second time I've heard the Flash fucking theme song behind you.
I know. I'm on call for work, so I had to. I'm on.
Oh my
call
god!
now.
So that means you're like that's your ringtone?
No, that's my normal. Theirs is the Empire's March.
That's fucking hysterical. Oh, you're the fucking best. But yeah, I watched it. I watched it today. Season finale. Anybody who likes Schitt's Creek, I thought it was pretty good. They went out on their own terms. They finished it up pretty good. The only thing is I don't feel like they addressed a lot and gave us like final moments, but they just kind of let it end and it felt pretty good.
Yeah.
They didn't fuck anything up, which I think is just as good as not giving me a perfect ending. You know what I mean? Because like, if I have to make the argument, like, I think Scrubs may have had the perfect ending to their show.
Oh, don't get me on Scrubs. Oh man, that show.
I think that last episode, which we all, come on, real fans know what I mean when I mean the last episode.
Season 8.
Yeah.
That's one of the best endings to a TV show ever, I think, in my opinion. And then all of a sudden they made that last season.
Which it's so stupid. The fucking last season wasn't even supposed to be Scrubs. It was supposed to be like Scrub Medical School or some shit. But the
Bill
station
Lawrence
didn't.
told them
the network didn't want to change it. They wanted to just
well, because he
ride
wanted to
the
go off and
name.
start doing Cougar Town. That was the whole point. He was ready to go do his next show.
Which sucks because I actually do enjoy that 9th season. It's a spin-off.
you're a
It is
bad
not.
man.
Oh, it just felt like nobody wanted to be there. I couldn't do it. All the old actors didn't feel like they actually wanted to be there, and all the new actors just. Dave Franco he rubs me the wrong way, and the lead chick. Then I saw her in Red State, and that fucked me up. And
Carla didn't want to be there at all.
well, of course not. I don't even. The character and the actress didn't fucking want to be there.
Dude, the
Everybody
9th
was
season.
gone. The janitor didn't want to be there. He's like, I'm fucking busy with the middle in the middle or whatever.
The 9th season of Scrubs was like the Joey spin-off from Friends. It was just
awful.
horrible.
It was awful, man. It was, or like that 80s show. It was like that 80s show. I forget that existed for like 2 episodes.
That was like, it was only a couple episodes.
What a fucking
that
piece
would
of
have
shit.
worked if they would have just morphed the kids over into the 80s.
Oh, it would have just been slackers.
Which I still say to this day, right now, is when they should do that 90s show with the same cast from the 70s show. It would match up time-wise.
And like they all have kids.
Yeah, there you go.
That could be interesting.
I mean, dude, Ashton Kutcher is bringing them all back on the ranch anyway, so.
Is he really?
Yeah, a lot of them keep making cameos and stuff.
That show was okay, and then it got really.
I haven't
meh.
finished the last chapter. I'm not sure if it's finished or not. I still say they need to bring Rooster back before they finish the show.
Yeah,
because they killed him, quote unquote, killed him, but no, there was no body
Just
found.
kidding.
So,
Oh my god.
and I think they did that on purpose so that they can play it if things ever change or they
I don't
want
know.
to.
Why kill off the character? Just say they moved away or he got sent to prison or something. I don't know. He's in Guantanamo. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. Like in 30 Rock, Alec Baldwin, Elizabeth Banks' character got stuck in North Korea. And she was trapped in North Korea for like half a season. So I guess let's see. We're off DC unless we got other stuff. What? What I
well,
missed?
that's all the DC shit.
I feel like.
I
unless
think
Tibbs has
we don't
got
have
something
any more DC news or content.
I mean, I could keep talking, but
special. Yeah, but I don't know what else you guys doing. Yeah, and definitely start Schitt's Creek, Tivis. It's fucking great. The show's fucking awesome. That's another one that's only like, it's like 20 something minutes and it's only 10 episodes a season, so it's an easy watch.
I need something while I wait for the Good Place season finale to become available for me to watch.
Yeah.
Man, I have to go back and watch that because I need to prove to Isaac and Michael that there was a couple of scenes in one of the seasons that a tone shift started to happen and it started to kind of make me feel a little weird. But maybe I was just in a headspace. We'll see. But I got to go back. I'm like, no, I'm not crazy.
You're overthinking
Going
it.
back.
You're
I will go back
overthinking
and
it.
rewatch.
Oh man,
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
go on.
I was just, I'm in Ohio, so we're on full lockdown here. So I've pretty much just been watching old TV shows from the start again.
What you watching?
Well, Scrubs, obviously, with the new, Zach Braff and Donald Faison.
Did you?
Watch along?
I was just
Oh,
about
the
to ask you about that.
podcasting?
Did you know they had the podcast?
Yeah.
Michael, I was going to tell you, I saw this a couple of weeks ago that apparently Donald Faison and Zach Braff, you'll probably know. I don't know if he brings any of the other cast members on, but they do a podcast where essentially they just go back. It's essentially like commentary. They
Yeah.
just go back, watch old episodes, and talk about it.
They call
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It's like the fake doctors or something.
Yeah, fake doctors, real friends.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that's gonna eat the day I haven't started it because I know the day I start doing that, it's gonna eat my life. Like that's what I'm gonna do for like until it's over.
Oh, it's amazing. The anecdotes they give, and they are going to have guests on. I believe Snoop Dogg intern already said he'll be on, and a couple others.
There's no way they don't get Dr. Cox, right? Like he has to show up at least once.
Oh yeah, John C. As much fun as he had with that character, I'd be so shocked if he doesn't.
And I mean, man, it'd be a travesty if Bill Lawrence doesn't show up at least once.
Oh yeah.
He's
Yeah.
funny. I loved when Bill Lawrence was on director commentaries.
I found out that Disney stole their dog.
What the fuck? What?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
when they wrapped the show, the one thing Zach Braff wanted was he wanted Rowdy, the stuffed dog.
Oh,
But Disney bought the show, and they're like, "Yeah, no, that's ours. You can't have it."
fucking Disney.
Disney
God
owns
damn it.
Scrub when. Wow.
They bought it when they had to move to ABC because NBC canceled them.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Disney just wants to buy everything. They're gonna own everything. There's
No, they won't. I think they're gonna go bankrupt pretty soon.
Oh,
Well, not
yeah, right
bankrupt.
now
not
they're-
not bankrupt, but they're definitely hurting, dude. There are rumors that they're fishing around to try and either get bought by Amazon or, yeah, they're shopping around.
I
don't
mean,
know.
why not?
Rumors.
I don't know
There's-
if I believe them.
There's
They
also
overstretched, man. I don't know. Like their theme parks can't run.
Yeah.
They're not being able to put out their big cash cow movies, and after like 4 huge flops,
If they're paying all their employees still from the park.
and their streaming services are rough.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. They've made a lot of really big mistakes in the last like 4 years.
We'll see
Speaking of their
what
stream-
happens.
What was that?
I said we'll see what happens because I know the government's gonna help them out, bro.
No, they won't.
Yeah, they will.
No, they
Yeah,
won't.
because all the companies that are still paying their employees are supposed to be getting kickbacks.
Well,
Yeah.
that's that's not the same thing. Like, they're not gonna get like a bailout.
Oh no,
No
no,
way.
no.
They're like too
There's-
like.
This is what I say. You know what? Fuck y'all. Endgame made like over $2 billion last year. They can survive for like a year.
They made the money, but then they spent it all and fucked themselves on Star Wars.
The Star Wars. Oh yeah, Star Wars came out after. That's right. That was this year
Yeah.
thing.
They sold like no toys, dude. The final movie in the saga is out, and there's not a single toy to be seen.
Yeah. And then they botched it on the Baby Yoda toys and stuff. They could have made a
I
fortune
don't know
on
how
that.
you fucked that up. Mandalorian's not even that good, and fucking hell, the
That was-
merchandising you could have done would have been great.
Oh yeah. Plus all the when in the episode of The Mandalorian when you have all the fucking Mandalorians flying around, that's action figure after action figure after
Yeah.
action figure, bro.
You could have just set them as a bundle.
Yeah.
That was.
Wow.
I understand they were trying to keep it a secret, but holy crap, did they drop the ball?
They could
especially
have
in
had the
hindsight.
stuff being made though, and just
Well,
then
it's just like
released
just have
it.
them made, have them ready to go. Just drop the. That's why I keep telling people I'm like they knew that their sequel trilogy was absolute trash, and they're like, "Fuck, we need to put Mandalorian out immediately."
It's
Like,
because
we need to do
Baby
it
Yoda
now.
was Favreau's idea, and they were probably just like, yeah, it's not gonna be nothing.
Well, and they also wanted to CGI it,
Yeah.
and they didn't even want to make it a puppet.
Yeah.
I still one of my favorite anecdote is what the hell is his name? Is it Pulver? No.
No, it's the bad guy on the show.
Yeah, it's the old dude.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
remember his name.
I forget.
It's
his
German
name.
man. It's the guy who gives him the bounty at the beginning.
Yeah.
Paul, no,
Paul Viat? No.
Verhoeven. I was thinking the guy who made fucking RoboCop. I don't think that's right. It's
Warner,
he was on Parks and Rec.
is it Warner?
Herzog.
Herzog?
Yes, we're- yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
He called Disney cowards for not wanting to make the puppet initially, and I was like, that is fucking dope.
Yeah.
Because Werner Herzog does a lot of like he used to do like I believe a lot of like 80s horror shit. and,
Plus, if
like-
you're gonna work on it and you're gonna be a part of this thing that's gonna have another Yoda, fucking let me see it while I'm acting around it. Just for the experience, shit.
or just something like I don't know. I mean, I miss practical shit, man.
It's not
I
like
just-
if they would have done it as the puppet and then they were like, oh no, this puppet looks like ass. They could have CG'd right over the puppet.
Well,
Boom.
fucking Tivis is talking about watching old shit, and Hannah and I started doing it too.
Yeah.
We bought the Blu-ray pack for Aliens, the Alien
Oh.
franchise.
Mhm.
I got that for Christmas.
And dude, the last 3 days, it's been Alien and Aliens.
Does it make you
Or-
hate Prometheus more?
We're not gonna watch Prometheus or Covenant because they're terrible. But well, and to be fair, pretty much everything after 2 is terrible. It's pretty much got Terminator syndrome.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like them.
3 is kind of dumb, and 4 just goes off the rails.
In-
Like Again, another Charles Dance cameo that apparently his character goes nowhere. And
I'm
then
taking us down this hole. I love the religious tones in that film. Like, to me, like,
Which one?
both versions of Alien Cubed.
Gotcha.
Just, I don't know what it is about that story, and I know it's not as good as the others, but it just speaks to me. I can't describe it.
Like any example, like anything that sticks out to you that like you're just like, oh, that's iconic, or like.
Well, when they trap it into that room, I believe it's the extended version where the guy, it's kind of like a church. They explain that what they trapped it in was their room where they pray, and then the deacon, I think is his name, the guy who thinks that this creature is a god, goes and frees it, like, just. I don't know, the psychological aspects of what's going on with the inmates being stuck in there during all this.
Yeah, I don't know. It just started to have too many sub layers for me. Like, I felt like the first two felt very. They felt relatable, and they felt really even given that we're fighting an alien, it felt so realistic. And especially the way they used to shoot it, it's like, it's all models again, and it's all like the sound design is really good. Like even to the point where the ADR is so shit because you could tell they were actually like blowing smoke on the set and doing all this crazy shit. And the ADR is awful. Like, very seldom does the audio match anybody's voices or like the way they look. And I don't know. It just like, and I love the tonal shifts between 1 and 2. Alien is like creepy, menacing stalker horror, like a Halloween, like the Halloween one. And then Aliens is James Cameron comes in and gives it that, power Viagra Michael Bay boost where it's like, boom, now we're fighting like 50 of them, and there's this huge fight at the end, and Ripley's yelling at people and making them all do stuff, and everybody's dying, and it's all, and then like her and Bishop are like, having that whole thing. So it's just,
I think that happens with a lot of
fun.
sequels.
It was a lot of fun. I liked them.
Yeah.
I thought they're really fucking great films, dude.
Yeah.
And like, again, it speaks to using practical
Aliens
effects.
is the top of my favorite film list, and it has been since I saw it when I was 12.
I agree.
Aliens
that
is
and
the
Terminator
second
2.
one, right?
Of course, James Cameron took it for me twice. Aliens and Terminator 2 are like quintessential action films for me. I think they're top peak sci-fi action. Like, they're awesome.
Right.
And as for Resurrection, I mean, that was what introduced me to the franchise, so I kind of have a soft spot
Was
for
that
it.
4?
See, and that's funny because it's the Resurrection's the fourth one.
Yeah.
And it has Charles Dance in it, if I believe I'm remembering the movies correctly, because we haven't gotten back to the rewatching, and it's the one with the white alien that gets sucked out the thing.
Yeah, the hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I believe like Ripley's like a fucking clone or something in that one. It's
Yeah.
it's really, it fucking gets off the rails after the third one. And
I think that's one of the biggest things, like, because those are 80s movies, right? All of them were, right?
Well,
Like,
not all of them.
most of
Resurrection,
them.
I think, was like 90.
But like your 80s and 90s, early 90s and the 80s movies, they all had that sequel problem where like they just didn't know when to stop fucking with the story. And you see it a lot more in horror films than action movies, but even the action movies like kept
it's just
going and going and
franchises.
going.
It's like,
and
where
going.
do you go? It's like, okay, we had one alien, now we're fighting the whole thing and the queen, and now what do we do?
People
And
are
I
so
think that-
shocked that we have 9 Fast and Furious movies coming out soon, but it's like, I mean, we have like 20 Freddy
But
versus
those are
Jason,
heist
Freddy
films.
movies
I don't
and shit
understand
like
how
that.
you can't just make a bunch of heist films. It would be easy. You don't have to make them retarded.
They're fucking fun.
What I like about the Alien franchise, though, is that, the longer a horror franchise goes, the more it just leans into the action aspect.
Yeah.
And they just went all action with the second one.
Action or
Yeah, they didn't give a
comedy,
fuck.
they get into more comedy as well.
Yeah, and
You
I think
see
trying
that-
to go back to that horror with the third one
Yeah.
kind of took away some of the stuff they added with the second.
Like, from the progression of it. Like,
Right.
it didn't feel
Yeah.
natural, maybe.
Because they
Can I-
tried to
can I
go
tell you
back to the horror with Prometheus, and it just
Well, they just tried to remake the film.
Yeah.
But which is what remakes do now. Funny tidbit, I did not know this. This is half the reason why I went back and was very happy to go watch them.
Uh-oh.
Do you guys remember in Terminator 2, John Connor's mom, stepmom, sorry, the one that,
foster mom,
who, foster mom,
Yeah.
who is cooking, and then she's on the phone, and then she knifes
the guy,
the dude,
the husband.
That actress is Vasquez. She's the Mexican chick. So she went brown face and buffed up to be Vasquez in Aliens.
Really?
Did not know that.
Interesting.
100% did not know that. Just James Cameron liked the actress, so he used her. It's fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah, how much shit he would get nowadays for that?
I don't know. Robert Downey Jr. is getting it again 10 years later.
Oh, man.
After Tropic Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
I thought that was very interesting. And I remember like that's when I always tell people it's like we didn't have female representation. It's like cuz you weren't looking for it. It's like
Oh, Ripley is.
So she plays a Latino then, right?
Yeah.
Her last name is Goldstein.
Fucking hilarious. Goldstein playing a Vasquez. Half of my people are mad. Half of my heritage is angry.
It says Jeanette Goldstein is a true chameleon. She's so effective as an actress, it's nearly impossible to recognize her from role to role, as you proved.
You're welcome. I didn't know. Never would have guessed. But then because I was looking for it, there are scenes when like they're getting rained on or like sweaty or like you can tell like around her face and stuff the brown's starting to come off and you're like, oh man, she has like reverse raccoon eyes. It's really bad. But it's really funny. It's like you just, if I wasn't looking for it, you totally wouldn't fucking notice. And like the guns are so cool, like because it's her and that other like huge like Russian dude or whatever. They have those huge fucking like mega blaster guns that are like you can tell like hooked to like a Steadicam dolly on their chest, like a Steadicam chest plate. Mm-hmm. It's so dope. Those fucking movies are great, dude. Sigourney Weaver. So, and actually, surprisingly, I actually will make the argument that Sigourney Weaver's acting is a little overrated in those films. But she's still great. Like, she gets everything across. And I didn't even know that the guy who played Kyle Reese in the first Terminator was the guy who pretty much, outlives everybody towards the end before Ripley has to fight. I didn't even know that was him. And I'm like, man, he's a good actor.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I like the actors that can just blend in. You don't even recognize
It was cool.
them.
You didn't even notice him. He's just good. It's like, fuck. He's so great. Those movies are good, man. I don't know when the last time you guys watched, like you and Nick watched them, but fucking hell,
I don't think
great.
Nick's ever watched those ones. At least if she did, that she was a kid. We have them on DVD, but not Blu-ray yet. We haven't got
the one thing. I would definitely get them on Blu-ray. They look great. They actually transpose really good. And my only issue is again, I will always have to tell people when going back to old shit, even like Star Wars, fucking hell, man. Obviously, editing was a lot harder to do back then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hell, these movies are way too long. Like, I'm always falling asleep in the last like 15 minutes. Even if it's good, it's just because like we don't start movies till like 6 or 7 at night.
Right.
And I'm usually asleep before 8 p.m. because I'm old.
I also good. Sorry.
No, go for it.
No, I was just gonna say I also recommend that collection because holy crap, the extras on it. The only thing that I'm sad they didn't put in was those shorts that they put out for the anniversary.
Yeah.
Online, they were supposed to be in there, and last minute they cut them.
Because I'm assuming you bought the Blu-ray pack too that just has everything in it, right?
Oh yeah.
I was like, I don't know if yours is the same box, but I made the joke with Michael, and I think I even posted it a while back. It looks like an Animorph fucking book.
It
cover.
does.
It makes me laugh every time I see it. I'm like, this is awesome. My 90s kid in me I'm like, I want to go to a Scholastic book fair so much and be like, Mom, please. Can I get this year's Guinness Book of World Records book too?
When are we getting an Animorph movie?
I don't know, man. After those shows. Sean Ashmore, also known as fucking Iceman from X-Men.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon again.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Nickelodeon.
Was Animorphs Nickelodeon?
Fuck yes, it was. Well, not like the books, but
No, the show.
the TV show. Yeah,
I thought
It
that was
wasn't
a
bad.
Fox show, dude.
it wasn't terrible. Like for the time, it was like you could tell like the people who shot Goosebumps like shot that.
Yeah.
And, it was okay. I could definitely go for an Animorphs.
Are you sure that
movie.
was Nickelodeon?
Yeah, it
Nickelodeon?
is.
Yeah,
Ye.
Nickelodeon.
Yee. I'm
I
telling you,
s-
dude, I'm old. I'm a treasure trove of just nonsense.
I remember watching that, so I don't know how I did that unless they did like old episodes on Fox.
They didn't do a lot. I think they didn't even finish the first season. I think they got like
No.
6 or 7 episodes in and just
Yeah.
called it. And
Just like every other
Um,
show back then, it's made in Canada. Or
I-
actually every show still.
I would love for it, and I've actually started penciling an outline. I'm not gonna lie. I was telling Hannah the other day, my dad was cleaning up the house, and he found a book or a box of
Wow.
all of my old books, and we're talking. I have 1 to 30, I believe, 30 or 34, and then the Hork Bajir, whatever you want to call them, Chronicles, and the Andalite Chronicles. And I'm like, fucking hell. I would absolutely, my first movie would be the ending of the Andalite Chronicles leading into the first 2 books. And that's what I would do. And then,
Those books got dark.
oh, fuck yeah, they did. There was like, I would tell people it's like Harry Potter before Harry Potter. Like weird. It's just instead of magic, they were doing like weird science-y alien shit.
Apparently, the TV show lasted 2 seasons, 26 episodes.
No
No.
fucking way.
That's not bad.
I don't
Eh.
believe it. How did they? Who'd they show them to? Because I don't remember getting past the first season.
Well, apparently, it's had a resurgence in 2015 in Canada.
Yeah. I can see that.
Well, that's why. Okay. Well, I know what I'm hunting for.
I'm surprised Nickelodeon doesn't have that shit on Netflix.
Yeah. I wonder if there's
Does
a
Nickelodeon put anything on Netflix now? I thought they had their own.
Yeah, no, Nickelodeon doesn't have theirs.
Yeah,
they
partnered
pushed it
with
out.
Netflix.
Yeah, they partnered up with them like
Oh.
Warner Brothers.
Well, because
did.
I know Nickelodeon has a throwback one that has like Hey Arnold and all that shit on it.
Oh.
I'll have to look because that's the one I care about, like all those old cartoons.
Oh, because I'm gonna have to go soon because I didn't realize what
Oh.
time it was. Speaking of streaming services, I finally got the bad app, the WWE Universe app. Finally,
Yeah.
just because it's free for
I
a
thought he was
month.
gonna say Disney Plus.
We're using someone else's right now. Sorry, Disney.
I
I know you
allegedly.
need. I know you need the
Allegedly.
money, but still, sorry, Disney. So I got it this past weekend because WrestleMania 36 was on
Yeah.
for 2 days straight. John, we went over this. We went over this a little bit
Yep.
on another cast. 2 days straight with no audience members, and the pre-recorded stuff. I got to admit, I didn't hate the pre-recorded stuff that you could tell was pre-recorded anyways.
Yeah.
They did, and Tivis, you'd seen this, correct?
Oh yeah.
You
No,
saw
I
all
had a great time with
WrestleMania.
it.
The Undertaker's match, he did a Boneyard match, John, and they
Oh,
shot
yeah.
it. They shot it like an indie horror movie, bro.
And then you need like Kleenex when you're done, right?
Oh yeah,
Because I always take Hannah to the boneyard.
oh yeah.
Ya boy.
It's just sad they finally started doing stuff like that after Matt Hardy leaves.
Yeah, Matt Hardy has been doing shit like that. I mean, granted, they did stuff like that in Lucha Underground before, like very
Yeah,
cinematic
and-
stuff.
Back in like the 90s and 80s, they kind of did that, but
Yeah,
he brought it back.
yeah. Matt Hardy is, and he's gonna be doing a lot of it, I'm sure, with AEW. But that Boneyard match, they basically just renamed the Buried Alive match to Boneyard
Oh,
match.
okay. Got you.
That-
Seen that? I
There you
understood.
go. I
There
was
were
so
no
confused.
spooky, scary skeletons.
Yeah, I was so confused too by it because I was just like, why? What the fuck is a Boneyard match? And
Michael,
Then I
this is going to
realized
be the
it.
second podcast for people who didn't see. I just watched you adjust your pop filter.
I put it in front of me.
Did you forget? Did you forget to put it in front? Cause
No, I just heard myself pop.
oh, okay. You snap, crackled, and popped. Okay.
because I'm trying the new setup today. So it's basically a buried alive match kind of thing. And he went against AJ Styles, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love One Direction.
And yeah. If I just say AJ, then it's like Backstreet Boys.
No, that's Backstreet Boys. You said Styles. Shout out to Harry Styles. Yes, I know the difference.
Dun, dun, dun.
Phenomenal.
Hey, Michael, you light up my world like nobody else.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, it was
Anyways,
pretty
guys.
cool. It was pretty cool. And my dogs are going crazy now.
Cool,
it was
kill 'em.
it was a cool match. What'd you think, Tivis? Because I know you're a
Yeah.
big fan. So
Undertaker is my favorite wrestler.
yeah.
Like, I know he's a lot of people's favorites, but wow, that match, like, that had practically everything except the return of his old urn. I mean, he came out, first of all, you see the hearse pull up,
Yeah.
AJ's in it, pulling a twist on us, and then you get the American Badass Taker, who hasn't been
Yeah.
seen in so long, rolling up on his motorcycle, which they should have done so long ago.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yeah,
They kind of play the American Badass gimmick in this match a lot more than I kind of would have liked, but it was still cool. Because the whole thing is basically about like AJ Styles is like going on to the Undertaker about how his wife controls him and he only wrestles once a year and this and that, and keeps talking shit about Undertaker's wife, which is
and because she flips her hair and he gets overwhelmed.
yeah, sure.
Oh. She doesn't even know she's beautiful.
But it's just
Michael, you'll get that reference someday.
yeah, probably when I
man.
re-listen.
Oh man.
It was cool. What did
So, like,
your
so-
takeaway from it?
So I'm assuming all the matches are obviously pre-recorded. So did they do like little bits beforehand too, like a little like show, like a package?
like to prepare you for the match, like so you understand why they're fighting.
Because
yeah,
you know how
yeah.
okay, so if you would do it live, they would have been in the locker room doing a whole thing or whatever, just like yelling at each other. And then all of a sudden somebody comes flying out.
No. So like what they do is they like give you like a quick little backstory video montage of what's been going on leading up to said event. And that's what you've always gotten at like the pay-per-views right before the big matches, especially
Kind of like how you
Undertaker's.
would do that to promote the match.
Right.
Yeah.
Like when John Cena and The Rock finally fought, it was like this big back and forth. They never touched each other until WrestleMania, and then it went at yeah.
Oh yeah, you want to stay celibate until marriage. I
Yep.
got you.
And now John Cena took The Rock's job on Fast and Furious, so that's kind of cool.
Damn.
That's why you don't piss off Vin.
Hey, Rock's making Jumanji 3, I'm sure, so he'll be fine.
But can you guess who won, John? Who won that
I'm
match?
gonna go with Undertaker.
I'm gonna go with Undertaker too. He's only lost one match for WrestleMania, and that
Fucking
was like,
WrestleMania. I still can't believe they did that. I still can't believe they did
I think
that.
it was because he was too hurt, and it wasn't supposed to go down like that.
Probably not.
Because that was like the one
That
thing that
has
he was
been the
holding on
rumor,
to.
but I don't know. That just felt weird. Like,
Yeah.
why now?
Right.
But
I think this was because Taker's been coming back he was supposed to if he would have just retired with his match with Roman Reigns a couple years ago, I would have been happy because that was an amazing match. He had an amazing send off, but then apparently he hit his head and didn't remember, so he didn't want that to be his last one.
Yeah.
So he keeps coming back, and I'm telling it's diminishing returns with him. Every time he comes
I can feel
back,
that.
the mystique of the Undertaker is just getting lower and lower. And him and Goldberg almost killed each other last summer over in Saudi.
Well, it does not help now they're doing like this behind the scenes thing for Mark Calloway, and they're like letting him talk more, and like they're doing like a documentary of literally following
Well, and
Mark
it's also hard
around.
when these people are essentially like, I'm ready to retire, and then they start going on fucking podcasts and like
Yeah.
pulling the veil
Yeah.
behind, and
Well,
like,
you know
almost, like, talking
everything.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you're taking it away. Like if they were done and you go like, it would be like the actor going back and reminiscing.
Right.
And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. But it was cool at the time. It's like now you said that, you're like, oh, I fucking hated this and this pissed me off. And then you go back and you're like, you just look like a battered housewife at this point.
Right after WrestleMania, it played like teaser to like whatever Undertaker's show thing that they're gonna be doing, and it
Yeah,
was
his
just
last ride.
sad, and it took away like a lot of that, like what you think
Anticipation,
of
like
for the Undertaker.
anticipation or,
Yeah,
like,
like
legacy.
he even literally says, you know, I know I can't do this anymore. That's why I only do one match a year. I'm like, well, fuck me for caring
Awesome,
about the story.
thanks.
Shit. Like, I know these guys, like, they're human
Yeah.
beings and not the characters they play. I'm not stupid.
But it's like you
just
grew
kinda
up with
take
them.
that
They,
away.
like, you're just used
Yeah.
to these
Yeah.
people. Like you know what they can bring.
And it's like the WWE is like just stripped away a lot of that, like, we're gonna hide this here type thing. It's just stripped away. Especially, I mean, they're doing their shows at the Performance Center where all these wrestlers, they show the wrestlers who are feuding on the show just there working out next to each other. I'm like, no, you're gonna smash him with fucking weight. Be a man. Take him out now.
It's like sending Undertaker to an island by himself, and then when they give him the shovel, he just throws it over his shoulder or something. I don't know.
Which is kind of why I was glad he came back as the American Badass version, because
Yeah.
I feel like this was the best time to drop the Phenom.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
retire that.
He said that
Phenom.
he's in the middle of a gimmick change. That's what he had said previously in the interview. I'm not sure what it is. He said he's not going back to the American Badass, but he's also not going to be the Phenom. So maybe it's going to be like a mixture, or maybe we're just going to finally see like a Mark Calloway
Yeah.
character, which, I mean, what is he going to eventually do? Eventually, he's not even going to be able to do one match a year. Like,
No, I mean, he's 55 and he can barely walk.
yeah, it's
That
like
match was
Ric Flair
only as
still
good
does
as it
shit.
was. Yeah. Like, that match was only as good as it was because it was as edited as it
Yeah.
was.
Oh yeah. The editing for that was pretty dope. And then we could talk about there's three other matches really that I really care about talking about. But are there specific matches that you want to talk about, dude?
I mean, The Fiend and Cena, obviously.
Yes. The what did they call it? The Funhouse match or something?
Yeah.
That was awesome, John. You need to go online and watch that if you can.
The Funhouse match.
The Funhouse match. It's like
Oh.
the Fiend, which is Bray Wyatt, which is like the low grade version of the Undertaker that they just created later down the road. Not taking anything away from his character though, because he's actually pretty good, cool at it.
No. And in fact, he was originally penned to take over for the mystical character.
Well, if you're gonna act like that, like you'd be like, oh, Kane.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. It's like, yeah, I
Right.
get it.
Right.
Yeah.
But they did this cool match, and the best thing about it is the editing. But they go back and forth. They like basically do a time machine with John Cena, bro.
Yeah. Instead of like a physical match, it was more like a mental kind of thing.
Yeah. Like if you're, I would look at it kind of like something like Mysterio would do.
Oh, yeah.
In Spider-Man, it was kind of like that because it was like switching. It's like John Cena, like they showed a video of when John Cena first debuted, and then it would cut to like John Cena walking out now in the same fucking outfit and stuff. They went back to like Thugonomics John Cena where he rapped everything.
Thugonomics.
It was so funny, dude. They even had shit from what
Nitro. And,
he came out as like NWO Hulk, playing the belt and stuff.
Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah, just the way it was cut together, I was like, nah, that's creative.
Got you
Why
hyped.
can't we see more of this shit? And then they don't even have an actual match. It's not a real match. That is the match. It's a psychological warfare type match. So you don't see any wrestling. It's just entertaining. And I feel they should do more of this, but I think it's a little too late for them.
I can see that.
They spent so much time building the Fiend up only to destroy him.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. But another match that I liked, I actually watched it with my youngest and he enjoyed it, was Edge versus Randy Orton.
I had a feeling. Yep.
And that's one of the matches that's been talked about a lot too because of some stuff in it. But it was a not no DQ. It was a last man standing.
Last man
match.
standing.
Yeah. So they went around the whole training facility, beating each other up with shit. And it was pretty cool because it was Edge's like first match back, I believe, after
in
9
a long
years.
time. Yeah.
Because he was told he wasn't allowed to wrestle again after.
Because didn't he like fuck up his neck or
he
his
broke his
back or
neck.
something?
Yeah,
Broke his neck?
he had it fused.
Yeah.
And then of course his fucking signature move is the fucking spear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like of course.
Yeah. They played on that a lot in this, and it was interesting. But like the most talked about part of that match, unfortunately, people read into it a little too much in the wrestling industry, where I think it was Randy Orton wraps some workout equipment around Edge's neck. Is that right? Or was it the other way around?
I think you're correct.
I think so. And then like he hooks it onto a weight, so it's like he's being hung by the weights, which is also the same way Chris Benoit killed himself.
Ooh.
So there was a lot of like shit in the wrestling community, like being disgusted by it, especially because just recently they did the behind the scenes story of Chris Benoit recently. So it's very fresh in everyone's head too. And I think that's the biggest thing. I think those guys, you know, they say if you're in the wrestling industry, you should know and, you know, take whatever, take heed. But I didn't look at it that
But for
way
all you know,
that.
they're in the room. They're just trying to come up with shit too. Like,
Right.
Even if it's scripted, they're still probably gonna just try and come up with
Yeah,
something.
they want something that's gonna sell, and it's harder. The hardest part about doing these types of matches without an audience is you usually use the audience to gauge if you could keep going or not.
Yeah,
If you don't have an
Yeah.
audience cheering you on, you don't know how long you're supposed to go.
I
So,
can do that. Yeah, absolutely.
Basically, they're
Absolutely
just
agree.
going until they're told to stop. You know,
Yeah.
and it's one of those things. It's like, yeah. Which brings me to my next point.
Uh-oh.
The last match of WrestleMania, which was what do they call that title now? Universal title or
Universal Championship.
Universal
The
Championship?
Disney title, because they bought that too.
Yeah, probably.
I'm Joe.
Yeah. That match was super fucking short.
Yeah.
It was really short for like a main event WrestleMania match. Like honestly, the Edge and
But was
Orton
it
thing.
good though? Like, cause
No.
oh, so it was just
The match
'cause-
itself, or
Yeah, well, because I would make the argument because like people like talk about like with boxing matches or like
Yeah.
UFC bouts, like a first round knockout for something that you paid like $50 for. It's like some
So-
people are kind of into that, but I'd be like, I fucking paid like $60
Yeah.
to see this, even though that there is other bullshit beforehand. But
Well-
it's like I came here for that.
my biggest thing is it was Brock Lesnar, and
Boo.
I don't.
I was like, doesn't everybody hate him? How
I
is he
don't
still
remember the
doing
other
this?
guy. I don't remember who he fought. I forget his name. He's a dick too in real life.
Drew McIntyre?
Yeah, McIntyre. He said some shit like that was. Nah,
I'm
but-
more of a PC.
But I just felt that match was
Be here
just
all day.
it was undersold. There was nothing like big in it. It shouldn't have been the main event. They should have left the Randy Orton Edge match as the main event.
That sounds like that would have been the main event to me.
Yeah. But because this was the title match, I guess, I don't know. It was just so short, and just to see like the maneuver he did on Brock Lesnar to beat Brock Lesnar to win the championship belt, it was kind of like, really? Like Brock Lesnar like is the one person who's beat the Undertaker at WrestleMania. We're just going to let him lose this quick to this dude like a belt. Like, really? It didn't make sense to me at all. It really didn't. Honestly,
know.
the whole Edge Orton match, I thought they were going to have Edge lose because him being gone for 9 years, it would have made more sense for him to not be up to par to win. But because it's a last man standing match, it's a little easier to get around that because you hit them real good on one thing and then you win. So, but with this Brock Lesnar one, I was just like, what the fuck? So
Yeah, well, the problem with Lesnar is I don't know. I don't find him entertaining at all.
He seems like an asshole. Like in real life too, not like
Lesnar's-
just like a heel like The Rock used to be or something.
Apparently,
Yeah.
he's not that bad of a guy. I
Yeah.
just, I don't, I think he's overhyped, overpaid. It overshadows too many other people in the company.
but he
I
gets
just don't
to
find him
have
as charismatic as like everybody else.
he
Like he's
gets
just not
Paul
like,
Heyman out though, and that's the fun part is Paul Heyman's reactions all the time.
I suppose. Because don't get me wrong, I still watch promos and stuff. I just don't. It got too cartoony for me,
Yeah.
so I just kind of dropped out. I'm very Attitude Era only. I love the video games. I love all that stuff.
Because Caleb, my youngest, liked the Edge Orton match. We're gonna try and watch the original TLC match
Okay.
to show him the first ever TLC Orton
Hell yeah.
or Hardy's, Edge Christian, Dudley's. Because I'm
Yep.
like, that's the match to watch, bro. Like,
I love the Dudley Bros. I love them.
yeah,
Devon.
Reverend Devon.
It was awesome. Al Snow running around with the head.
Oh, yeah.
Val Venus. Forgot about Val Venus.
Val Penis.
Well, it was Venus, but yeah. We always
Yeah,
made the
that's what
joke.
it was always.
All right. Well, since you guys were talking about weird men and spandex and crazy stuff, I don't know if you have anything else you wanted to add.
Yeah, do
I
you have
wanted to do
anything?
one last thing because I know you guys, or
Yeah,
at least one of
I
you
gotta
has
get
to
go.
go.
Go ahead.
I have to do this before we leave.
Oh.
I ended up at Walmart today, and in the $5 section, I found. I don't know if you guys can read this. It's the Shark Attack
Oh.
3-pack.
No.
Sharkenstein. Oh, I
So
wanna see that.
I'm going to
spoilers.
call this segment. I brought it on myself. As you know, Hannah's a huge fan of B movies,
Yeah.
shitty like sci-fi B movies. You obviously, Michael, as well. This is a 3-pack for $5. I'm going to give you the titles and I'm going to read the synopses, and then I'm going to tell you I'm probably going to hate my life for the next few days.
So you haven't watched any of them yet?
No, still
Okay.
in the plastic
Still
wrap.
going in there, okay.
Hannah should hopefully be here almost as soon as we're done casting.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm going to have to pick one of the 3 to watch today.
That
And-
first one is a wild ride.
Well, here, so you've seen, oh fucking hell. Okay. So I'm going to read them off, and if you haven't seen the other ones,
All right.
I would like you two to choose which one I ask Hannah that we watch first.
Okay.
So here we go. On the back, I'm going to read this thing.
All right.
3 times the bite. 3 times the fright. Great marketing, guys. You're nailing it. Sharkenstein. It's alive. It's alive! In the final days of World War II, a secret experiment to weaponize sharks is seemingly abandoned and destroyed by Nazi scientists. Is this Jurassic World? But 60 years later, a small ocean town is terrorized by a mysterious creature, one built from the parts of the greatest killers in the sea and the mind of a madman, a Sharkenstein monster, hell-bent on destroying every living thing in its path. All right, that's magical. You know, Nazis, always a winner. Unless it's actually World War II, then they don't win much. From what I've heard, historically. All right,
Watch
number
a man in
2.
the high
This is
castle.
the one I would probably vote for, just 100% based on the title because I'm lame.
Yeah.
Raiders of the Lost Shark. I hate my life. 4 friends, not 2, not 3, but 4 friends set out by boat for a vacation on a private island. Ooh, sexy. But unknown to them, a weaponized shark has escaped from a top secret military lab. A shark genetically engineered with hate in its blood and programmed to hunt any human within range. Now, these friends must band together to battle an all-new brand of predator who will stop at nothing to remain at the top of the food chain. I don't know, and these are all unrated. So, at least give me some boobies. I'm just, come on. That's all I'm asking.
No, they sound like all
I-
Sci-Fi Channel movies, right?
Come on now, just
They
give me
are.
boobies.
Yeah.
Oh man, no boobies? All right. Well, they'll probably be swearing. All right. This is the best one. Here we go. And there's a grammatical error in this too, and it makes me laugh. Shark exorcist. I'm going to throw that one out there one more time. Shark exorcist.
So, wait, is there a shark demon in the body? Or is the shark the thing that needs exercised?
Which would you prefer?
The shark being exercised, that seems kind of cool.
There you go. It kind of feels like Deep Blue Sea. All right. Here we go. Oh, fuck you on the first sentence. You're going to need a bigger... I fucking hate this. Okay. No, I'm fine. One more time. It's fine. Okay. That's good.
Again?
You're going to need a bigger cross. A demonic nun summons Satan to a small fishing village where he takes over the body of a great white shark. There you go. A chain reaction of evil grips the tiny community as the shredded bodies continue to wash up on shore. A Catholic priest arrives in search of his missing brother, and he must fight both teeth and temptation on land and sea in order to send this man killer back to hell. Dun, dun, dun. The power of Poseidon will compel you.
That totally sounds like an episode of Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Guys, this is absurd. So you saw Sharkenstein?
Yeah, my brother-in-law is a huge fan of the mashup movies.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Like, is it, like, complete shit, or is it actually kind of fun?
Oh, boy.
So it's complete shit. Oh, man. Because, Tivis, you are, like, the king of positivity. If you're going, like, oh, man, I don't know. I'm terrified.
Well, those movies aren't for me. Let's put it that way. You might have a lot of fun with them.
I see, like, because I'm like, Sharknado was fun for the most part because it was like a cultural thing, and I'm like getting to have fun with it.
Yeah.
This is just like, I'm gonna watch these and hate myself. Like, I did it because I love the woman that I love, and she loves the thing she loves. Therefore, I apparently have to subject myself to torture.
Did you guys watch Killer Sofa yet?
No, but that was brought up.
Yeah.
She has looked it up. I think it's on the radar. We do have a few things to still finish because she's a huge fan of Schitt's Creek, so we're going to finish those. I'm not going to lie, based on the three of these, Shark Exorcist seems like the most retarded one, and I kind of think I could sit through that one.
That was going to be my vote.
Yeah. I think
because
that one sounds cooler.
Raiders of the Lost Shark I immediately went to just because of the title. But Shark Exorcist seems so shit that I'm like, bring it. Let my brain melt. So I got Tivis. Which one you picking, Michael?
I think the Exorcist one.
Yeah, unanimous. I think we're gonna go with Shark Exorcist.
Have you seen Ghost Shark?
Yes, we have seen Ghost Shark. Yes, we have.
Shark.
It was pretty fucking awful.
Oh, before we take off, how was that couch movie that you were talking about?
Killer Sofa?
The Killing Sofa.
Killer Sofa.
Yeah.
Well, one, it's not about a sofa; it's about a recliner, but they call it Killer Sofa.
Which, again, a lazy boy, if you will, which I also found sexist.
Yeah.
And maybe pedophilic. Pedophilic? Pedophilic?
No, it's not that bad. I actually did like a shit review on it on Letterboxd. But I gave it 1.5 stars because it actually has something there. It's just not executed as well as it could have been.
Yeah, it's no Tusk.
Yeah, it's no Tusk. John might like it.
Bringing it back.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's got to be beginning, middle, and end.
The best way to start a review. Fucking hell.
No, I just feel like if they would have done a little bit more work on the acting, not that the actors are horrible, because you can see some potential with them, but if they would have just done a little more a couple more takes maybe or something like that. It feels like they spent a lot more time and care on making the chair do what it has to do rather than working out some of the extra kinks, tightening up the script, which, you'd
love that. We'd love that phrase.
Closing, cutting some shit out that doesn't need to be there. It's honestly, by the end of it, I was still confused. I was like, I don't know what went on. Keep telling everybody, I chalk it up to it could have been a great episode of Tales from the Crypt, like a 45-minute thing.
Ooh,
and then you could have been
or
good.
like a silly Twilight Zone, which I guess you would argue Tales of the Crypt was Tales from the Crypt
like that, yeah,
like a silly Twilight Zone. Okay, final question. I'm gonna leave this with you guys in the internet because it came up during a video game session of Luigi's Mansion 3 with my lovely girlfriend. Would you, if given the opportunity, have sex with your own clone?
No.
You can answer first, Tivis.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Tivis first.
I can see what I look like in the mirror. No.
Fair enough. That feels like a very honest answer.
Now, does it have to be a clone of myself at the moment, or could it be like 19-year-old me?
Well, I'm glad you at least said 19, Michael. Fucking hell. Let's just say,
because if I'm gonna have sex with myself, I'm gonna have sex with the Twinkie version of myself.
For the sake of this, let's look at the most idyllic image of ourselves, like when we look the way we did, like when we're happy with ourselves. That's what they would look like. There you go. I'll even preface that. So like me in peak, I'm in peak form. I'm in peak form myself. Like back when I was a swimmer or whatever, and I was like in peak form. My clone is in peak form.
Oh, well, in that case, still no. I don't know why I'm married.
I absolutely agree. I'm not fucking my own clone. I don't care. One, I don't want to fuck my clone. Two, I don't want anything in my butt. But
it wouldn't be in your butt if you're fucking the clone.
Sex is sex. The mutual. Come on, you need to be a generous lover, Michael.
Would you at least do mutual masturbation with the clone? It'd be just like giving yourself a hand job, anyways.
Nah, because I don't imagine I'm good at anything.
You thought about it for a second.
I don't need myself judging myself because I do that enough.
All right, how about
Second,
69 in your clone? Would you
that's the
eat
same
that
fucking
ass?
thing. No, but the reason why I prefaced with this, because then the secondary question came in, because my girlfriend's really hot, and I think a lot of the answers tend to be different because of women.
Yeah.
Would you have a threesome with your clone, with your significant other right now?
No.
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 Okay. Tivis.
No.
I would 100%.
No.
I absolutely would, and Hannah agreed with me. Because it's us. It's just us. It's all us somehow. But then you have to make the argument, like with like clones and stuff. It's like that's where the nature nurture comes in. It's like no matter what happens, even if it's another version of me, it isn't me.
I think they're gonna get into that in that Paul Rudd show with the clone on Netflix.
Yeah, I was curious about. Well, and Rick and Morty delve into it, and there's another show that does it too. So I think it's a neat question because it's a joke. It's a joke question.
Now this is a clone too. The clone has to have like your memories. It can't just be a clone from you and then it went off and lived its own life with whole new different memories, different
exactly because
everything.
Then that's where nature versus nurture comes
then
in.
it's just like, a twin.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the interesting part about it. That's why I'm always like, I always like to use that as a joke because it's come up on a lot of podcasts that I watch, and it's a big joke. But then, of course, everybody gets into the ideology of cloning. It's like, is a clone actually you? It's like, no, it's another version of me, which at the end of the day, it's just a twin.
Which since we're on a clone thing,
yeah.
If I Tivis,
Tivis, you're welcome. I knew you didn't see that coming, but it's been stuck in my mind all day. And I sent a clip to Michael with Hannah and I playing
Yeah.
fucking Luigi. I'll probably send it to you if you want to see it. It's fucking hysterical. She's really, she's really fucking funny.
This is the exploring life part of the podcast.
I think it's neat because I don't think we're that far away. We've already cloned shit. I refuse to believe that we haven't cloned a human yet.
Oh, we have.
I'm sure we have.
Any
So I'm
celebrity that doesn't want to abide.
I just find it interesting.
Yeah.
I got two problems. One, Mike, you recently became Facebook friends with me. You see,
Yeah.
I got a streak in me with some certain aspects that I can be quite annoying. I couldn't live with that, and I'm also kind of a jealous person. So that clone would be dead, and then I'd have to live with the memory of killing myself.
I'm a little bit there because my girlfriend is like, I outkicked my coverage so hard. Like, it's one of those things, but I'm like, because I would look up and it looks like me, and I'm like, it's fine. And I would like be able to distance myself from it. But then, like,
but the second that clone is created, it clones what you have as memories now. Okay.
yeah,
I'm gonna go based off of the Paul Rudd show.
off that. You
Yeah.
want to go with that? Okay.
Based off of that. So
you're going with essentially we have a shared history.
you have a shared history, but after that point of clonage,
Yes.
clonies? No, clonage.
Don't try. It's all insane.
that becomes a whole other operating system of you. It might do things better. It might, take over your relationship. That's one of the biggest things that.
Well,
I
then
think
that's
people
when
have-
murder comes in. That's when I turn into Tivis.
Then do you see if you taste good? But no, then you got the question: is murdering your clone bad or not? Is it a
Yes,
criminal
absolutely.
offense
It's
or
a
not?
human life.
Yeah, that's still murder.
Is it human life? It depends
Yeah.
on how you look at life. Was it
I mean,
it born?
What do you
Was
mean?
it-
How do I look at life? That it's alive?
It's just
Yes.
cloned from your DNA.
kind of
That doesn't necessarily mean it's like.
Dude, I like drive in the middle of the night. I felt bad because I accidentally ran over a couple of frogs because it was raining. And I was literally trying to dodge. I was literally trying to dodge frogs because they're like salmon trying to go across the fucking road. There's like 50 of them.
And you guys did establish that this is a different person.
Yeah,
I
well,
guess-
well, a
person.
clone is in definition another being. Regardless of whether or not it looks exactly like me and shares my history, it's still
Yeah.
a human. Unless you're like it's an alien human hybrid. Okay, now we're getting weird. Now we're splitting hairs. But yeah, if it's just a copy of me, it's just another person.
Maybe.
And if it's just a
We'll see.
temporary clone like Multiple Man, that's a different
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
Well, because I was telling Hannah, she goes, well, it could have like certain. She brought up, it's like, well, maybe it's not like all you. Maybe it's just like a certain aspect of you. I'm like, that doesn't matter. Then we're getting into the movie Multiplicity,
Yeah.
where he's like just, and Rick and Morty delved on that, where they just took their hate out, like their anger out.
Yeah.
And I go, but that's just the parts that they took from you. And as a human, you need all of those parts to make your
Yeah.
personality. Your anxiety, like it sucks that you have depression or anxiety or this or that. But because of all the way your brain is made up, that's who you are. And you take one aspect out, you completely radically change your reaction to
Which
things. Like if I wasn't depressed or anxious, I'd go out more often probably.
They touch upon that in the Paul Rudd show as well, because what they're doing is like they do make a full clone of him, but it's
You want
like
to say
a
the actual
cloner.
title of the Paul Rudd show?
I
'Cause
don't
you keep bringing
remember
it
the
up.
name of it. I don't.
Fucking Google it, man. You've brought it up like 4 times. Holy shit. It was a Netflix show with him. And I even made the joke because there's an episode of Rick
Living
and
with
Morty where
Yourself.
they essentially do this. And it's what's it called?
Living with yourself.
So I just think it's an interesting question. It brings up a lot of like morality things and and these are questions that are going to be asked later, because if you could clone yourself essentially to make a version of you, so you could essentially just harvest the organs, or maybe even
Then you're in the
create-
island, because that's the island clone movie.
That's what I'm saying. Or even create a body that you could then take your brain out and then put into and essentially live forever.
Well, here's
Interesting.
something funny since we're on this.
Yeah.
Tivis,
I'm sorry, I opened a can of worms. I knew you guys didn't see that coming, but I've been holding on to this all week.
Tivis, do you watch Picard, or do you have any interest in Picard?
I've never really cared much for Star Trek, so
Okay,
I'm still
cool.
kind of
so
new
I'm not
into
even
it.
gonna ruin nothing for you. So I'll
Wow,
say it anyways.
that's a stamp we don't get to put on your nerd card.
I have started diving into it, but I'm not very far.
Well, spoilers for the end of the first season of Picard.
Feel free to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Picard dies,
Which is what you do.
and then they bring him back to life in a
Android
body that looks exactly like his body, and it's aged, and he still gets to live however long he biologically should have lived, which in my
fucking lame.
it doesn't make sense
Lame.
because it's
That
like
seems cruel.
yeah.
And it seems stupid.
But see, everybody's bitching about that, right? Because it's not Picard. It's not
Because
him
it's
anymore.
also dumb.
It's just his consciousness. However, I believe
I would make the argument just in case, because then
Yeah.
I don't want you to milk the waters for me. I think your consciousness is who you are.
right. Now, it's going to be interesting because I suggested the idea that in the second season they bring Q back to fuck with Picard because it was always about humanity with Picard. And Q could josh with him and like just make fun of him. Now that
You
he's
fucking
not-
joshing me, bro. You fucking joshing me. I love the fact that you said joshing. What are you, like 90?
Yes.
You fucking joshing me, bro?
It's for the characters.
I'm just joshing you.
But people are like complaining that it's not Picard, it's just his consciousness, it's not even his body. But in I believe it's the first season of Next Generation, they literally put Picard's consciousness into a clone of Picard because he gets lost through the transporter.
So, this was like he actually was gonna die, though.
So Picard was already dead. Like his body as what just died in the Picard show.
There's also that argument with teleporters in general.
Yeah, they keep
with the
cloning you,
remaking
and
of-
every time you come back, you're just a clone of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the biggest. That's the biggest one for that, because they actually proven that in one of the episodes of Star Trek, they literally brought the dude back, and it was a clone of him.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, I just wanted to get that out of the
guys.
way because it's clonage day.
Well, I mean, are you guys caught up with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
For the most part, yes, I
what
believe.
what have they done any new ones this year?
The final season is still this summer, season 7.
Okay,
So yeah, then I am caught up. Yes.
So yeah, it's the same thing they did with Coulson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck, I
agree.
forgot about that. Yeah. Oh, they just stole
Yeah.
that from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 'Cause that was like a year ago they put that out, right?
Yeah, roughly.
well,
Yeah. Also, go fuck yourselves, people that want to complain about that and not Coulson.
well, how many people were watching that?
Enough. Hopefully we
hope
get a
so.
good closeout for the last season.
I miss I miss Ming Na Wen and everything. Just put her in everything. She's so hot. Sorry.
All right. Anyways, I gotta get going.
Yeah, don't worry. I derailed that podcast right at the end very well for everyone. I hope everyone has a nice philosophical wank.
I think I did that kind of like just completely change topic right off the bat at the very end when we had Q on
When
last
you
time.
mistakenly remembered that O.J. Simpson was not in prison.
Yeah. Tibbs, do you got any last tidbits that you want to toss out there or talk about? Or
Yeah,
anything?
more like Tiv bits. Am I right? Oh,
Okay.
Not the first time I've heard that, but
oh man, I'm unoriginal. Fuck.
yeah, no, just stay safe out there.
I like it. So, okay, well, in that case, Tivis, always awesome to have you on.
Yeah, man.
The comic book guru, please read up on stuff so you can keep us Luddites informed. Start Schitt's Creek if you're thinking about it. It's fucking glorious. Also Harley
Also.
Quinn, I think you'll like it.
Also, check out Killer Sofa just for the hell of it. Make sure you're watching with somebody who's going to just like look at you like, why the fuck did you make me watch this?
That's everything I watch with my wife. So
There you go.
Well, I'm glad we all have people who just look at us like, why did I do this to myself?
Why?
Anyway, it was nice to have you on, man.
Thank you again.
I hope we hear from you, especially given the state of everything going on right now. Hopefully, we'll have you on
again
next week, a week after,
again, and
2
again.
weeks from now. Who cares? We're always looking for people. It's always nice. Nice
Always
having
fun.
We pushed time back today, and then we were just like, hey, well, maybe we get time to find somebody. So there you go.
you. Well, why do you gotta cheapen it like that?
I'm just sad I missed
I was
out on the
literally
Star
talking to
Star
him
Wars one.
before I asked him too.
Oh,
so.
you got thoughts about Star Wars. All right, we'll
Okay.
talk about that.
We can do Star Wars next time.
I'm down. We'll talk on that one next. I'd love that. I would love to do that.
All right, so here's my quote, since I end every podcast with a quote, guys.
Yes, boy.
Again, thank you, Tivis, for showing up, man. This quote is from Plan 9 from Outer Space. The original, because there is a fan-made one. All right, Plan 9 from Outer Space, directed by the one and only Ed Wood.
Oh, back to Wood. Nice and hard.
Lieutenant Harper. One thing's sure, Inspector Clay is dead, murdered, and somebody's responsible.
That sounds like Knives Out to me. Let's check it out later, nerds.
Pieces.
Fuck your clones!
You just finished another great episode of Operation Babble. You can catch every episode of Operation Babble on all your audio streaming services, including SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, and more. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Operation Babble. And join the conversation today by searching for the Operation Babble group on Facebook. Links also in the description. Don't forget to find Myke on all social platforms, including YouTube, by searching Myke Shrews, MYKESHREWS. You can find John on Instagram and YouTube via Bald Man Bad. Thanks and have a great day.